Recording. Okay, hello, we're back again. I got another one. This is going to be a really easy one. Like, you know, there's not really much going on here to do a retouch on, but why not? Record it anyway. The first video that I put up, I had a YouTube, well, it was like a mega mix thing. It's like chill out stuff or whatever. I'll put a link down in the description about it. But yeah, basically, like, I recorded that audio into what I was doing, went and uploaded it. I got a copyright strike, so I had to go and scrub all the music audio out of it and put down some more music. It might have been a little too loud, so I'm going to turn it down this time. Okay, I will turn it down so it's not too loud. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, tablet's plugged in. I got my razor next to me. And let's get the frequency separation going. Got my script. So this is the first pass. This is the median pass on this one. And that looks fine to me. 15 pixels. We'll hit OK on that. It's going to do it again. Okay, and then it's going to go and create our detail layers. There we go there. Okay, detail wise, what are we going to get rid of? Obviously some flyaways from the hair. We got some hair just down on the shirt top here, some flyaways up here. I'm not going to worry about the hairs up on the forehead here. You know, maybe one little tiny one. Wrinkles around the neck. That's pretty much it. You know, not too much happening. First and foremost, let's get rid of that thingy up at the top. Yeah, using the mixer brush on the color layer just blends all that together. Let's start our detail. I'm going to use the stamp tool on this. Stamp, regular stamp. And I'm just going to clean up that texture that's here. Most of this, I think, is sitting on the color layer. They aren't really deep lines, but we are going to take care of that a little bit later. There was a bit of detail on that one. And there's that little hair. That one's done. This is going to be a really fast retouch. I can already tell. Now she's got a lot of these fine baby hairs. Ooh, a little overage there. What shall we do with these guys? Looking at this now, could turn this into a long retouch. If I wanted to get rid of all of those. I might have to. This is pretty extensive. There's those detail spots. Rid of those details. Dog is barking like a banshee. Barking at. The mailman's outside. Works every time. Freaks out like a madman when the mailman's there. Let's just get rid of these little spots while I still mull over in my head whether or not I am going to tackle all of these tiny hairs here. Now, Beauty Retouch did have a special thingy. Remove body and facial hair. Let's give that a shot and see what actually happens. What is it going to create? Hair highlights. Okay. Let's see. What is that going to do for me? I've never worked with this one before, so interesting. I don't think I like that at all. That's a brush. Let's take it down to 10% and see what is that going to do here. Okay, so I don't understand the purpose of this layer then. Did I hit hair highlights? I think I hit hair lights. Yes, I did. Okay, yeah, it helps if I actually hit the right one, right? I'm going to collapse that layer, and I'm going to hit remove body and facial hair. And okay, it's doing something here. Think low frequency colors and tones. So it probably wants me to really crank this. Okay, remember I was talking about Gauzy and how it just kind of the whole thing? Well, that's what it's doing on this one. So this would be interesting to see what does it want to. Okay, hang on. Dust and scratches. Okay, what does it want me to do here now? Not really sure what it wants me to do. Maybe I should read. Oh, hello. Maybe I should read the manual. Take this down one notch at a time. Threshold. Around 1 pixel radius. I'm guessing that the objective is to make it so that you can't see hairs. Unmask to remove hair. Okay. This is a little bit more promising. Let's take this to 50% on my brush. Select that mask layer. And it wants me to do this. Like much more detail oriented. So in other words, we've got our brush and we'll take this down. We'll flip it so that it's white. I'm going to zoom in. We're gonna make our brush a little smaller. Hiccup. And yeah, it kind of works. But I don't like it. So, getting rid of all of this is going to be a pretty significant job. Yeah, dodge and burn's going to do it. I could try it on my detail layer on here. But it's going to be one of those like little one strand at a time kind of things. If we do that. Which I think works better than the Beauty Retouch's hair removal thing. And I still have to do the same kind of thing, one strand of hair at a time kind of thing, right? Just when you're doing this kind of thing, don't get too stuck into one position. Keep changing your sampling point. Because if you use one sampling point too often, you're going to start getting patterns kicking up. Pretty significant. So, sample, cover, sample, color, sample, cover. I don't know if you can hear my clicks going. We've got this area much taken care of. Zoom out and see what that looks like. Okay, so what I could do afterwards, after I do that, is I could come in and just give it a bit more skin tone. Making that. Let's keep going on this and see how things work. Let me try the healing brush. Healing brush current layer. I just want to get individual strands of hair that are really sticking out and noticeable. Find that you've got a little bit of a pattern building up. Go back, go over it again, pick a different point. I think I mentioned it in the other video I did. Also, keep a note of, it doesn't really happen when you're this close in, but when you're farther out and you're grabbing a texture from one area to cover up in another area, watch your depth of field. Don't grab a sample from an out of focus area and try and cover up a sharp in focus area, because it's not going to work. I'm just going to keep going to town on this. I'll speed this part up so you're not going to have to sit here for the amount of time it's going to take in order to get this stuff. So sit back and watch, and I'll wrap this part up pretty quick, and then we can move on from there. That's not that bad, actually. I could really dig into the weeds and get up here, but it was mainly this spot in here that was really jumping out at me. And I thought that was a bit much. So I might touch that a little bit. I might touch this stuff a little bit, just a couple of them maybe. Or maybe we'll just leave them. Zoom out. Yeah, no, we're just gonna leave it. That's fine. See, like when you look at the whole, it's okay. When you start really zooming in, it's like, oh my god, look at all that. And you know what? It could turn into this taking hours upon hours. Stamp tool. Let's tackle these lips. Dry skin areas in the lips. Always good to catch. Makes people look a bit more healthy, and when they look more healthy, they come across as being more productive. Not to say that she isn't productive. I'm sure she is. She's an engineer after all. Medical field. Get these guys over at this side. Dots. She's young. She takes care of herself. At least I'm assuming that. Maybe it's just because she's young. But looking pretty good here. So if it wasn't for the facial hair kicking up there really wouldn't have been all that much. Like the initial knee-jerk reaction was this was going to be pretty easy. But that little curveball. Yeah, see, I got to take care of this down here. Just doing this little shave is enough to change. That little hair kick in here. That wasn't really doing that much, but whoa. Okay, so a stray hair thing. We got a couple kicking in here. Get rid of this. Again, I'm on the texture layer. Sample from the right spot. This is something that I do sometimes with crossing over hairs, is come over it again and go vertical, grab some from above and then drag it down. And it just kind of helps to get rid of the obvious line that gets put in there because we're going against the growth of the hair, right? So it just covers that kind of stuff up. So there's that one. We're just dealing with mostly outside hairs now. Take that one. These ones, maybe I'll do these ones. And now I have to do that one. There's a little pimple there. Bumpy's little red spot there. We can get rid of that with our mixer brush. Little spots on the cheek, nothing too major. Little spot right there. Yeah, to me, expression is absolutely everything in a headshot. This is pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, she's got this. Most people do have this. They've got one eye that's just a little bit lazy than the other one. I just tell people, you know what? Just tighten up that one eye a little bit more. It magically just sorts itself out. You don't even have to think about how much to tighten it down a bit more. But yeah, just squeeze it a little bit more. Okay, get rid of all of these. Again, most of this stuff is all sitting down on the color layer. So once we get rid of this, well, there's still maybe something showing. Once we get the mixer brush on it, it's gonna disappear completely. Mixer brush. I want to sharpen it up a bit because I want to pull color in a bit closer. I don't know if you guys can see that or not because YouTube's just gonna like kill the crap out of the resolution. But it's basically just pushing that gray background color over top of the brown from the hair. That was a good one. I'm sure you could see that. Okay, there's that side. Now we got some mess here. I'm always finding new stuff. Okay, now I know that I'm contradicting what I said earlier about changing your sampling spot, but my sample spot is out here. I'm going inside of here. It's far enough away that you're not going to start seeing a buildup of a pattern. Yeah, it just takes a while to get used to, you know, how these things start showing up. Mixer brush, get rid of those permanent hair strands that were just hiding in there. And look at this, I can go a little bigger and I can actually relight. That's a little crazy. Take our load down. Yeah, I can relight things like that. I don't necessarily want to do that because that's making her more of a Romulan neck now. There we go, that's a bit better. I do have to do these down here though, right? These little crease lines. I'm not gonna call them wrinkles. I'm gonna get rid of those. Basically just smoothing the gradation between those so the gradual change in tonality isn't as abrupt, and that is what gets rid of that crease line. It's also how you get rid of the double chins. Double chins are basically just a play on the shadow and highlight. So if you can smooth the transition between the two, then you don't see that anymore. Well, something didn't work right there. Let me take my flow down. 3. Let's go back up to here. Flow down to 51. There. A little bit of a lag in my mixer brush here. I'm wondering if it's because I'm recording. Like it's taking a second for it to actually kick in. That's okay though. That's not too bad. Let me see. See, the shadow doesn't change all that much from what it was before, except for that little bump. So let me see. Is this, that can't be a texture thing. It's got to be a color thing. So let's push those together. To here and sample the texture and just bring the texture back in there. I think that's what it was. Yep, cool. Okay. Moving on. We gotta get this side up here, all these guys. Still got my stamp tool. Get rid of the texture. Get the sledgehammer approach out here. These ones. And then what I'm doing is I'm kind of mentally drawing where around the head I'm gonna like stop the pull in. So I'm gonna leave a couple of them. These guys in here, leave those ones. I think I got another hot spot. Get rid of all of these in here. No matter how much you recommend people actually, spring for getting hair and makeup, it makes my life a heck of a lot easier when they do. there's less of these flyaways. As the makeup artists, the hairstylists, you know, they take care of these kinds of things. Well, there's 2 more hot pixels, 3 actually. I got one there, one there, one there, one there. Now this, I'm gonna have to get in touch with Nikon because this is a pretty new camera. I only just got it. It was like December of last year, December 2020. So I think I've so far found 7 hot pixels on the sensor, which is a little crazy. I don't know, maybe things are different on mirrorless than on traditional DSLRs, because I am coming from a D810 and going to the Z7 II. But I think to have 7 right out of the gate I have to deal with is a bit much. Color in, gotta bring that back out. All I'm doing right now is the color information. That's all I'm doing. So I'm pulling that gray background in to cover up the color information that was left from the stray hairs. And then that just cleans up that hair. Just like so. Okay, we got rid of our lines around the neck. There's a little bit of redness there. Soften that up. There's a little redness up here. I want to get rid of that completely. Cool. Okay, I think this one's pretty much done. I'm gonna get the regular DMB going on it, which is very, very minimal. Haven't seen that before. Basically, I just kick up the catch lights in the eyes a little bit. I want 10% flow on the dodge for my brush, not the pencil. I gotta lock that off. Flow 10%. I just want down the bottom and this side just to kind of equal them out. Now I can't do that while I'm shooting, because if I did, then it would underlight her chin. So do what you got to do. A little bit of a kick on those, and then the eyebrows. I beef up the eyebrows a bit, just give them a bit more pop. Then a little darkening to the eyes makes them come alive. Now I got to pull that back because that's a little bit too much. Let's turn that up and turn both of these down at the same time. There we go, 70%. Just enough for a little bit of a kick. Take those 2 layers. I don't need them anymore. Yes, stop showing me. Turn that back on. And I do want the smile. Brush 100% flow. White on the mask. And that's just going to punch up teeth. I do really like how the Retouch panel does have this, because it does a really good job. It doesn't overdo it, doesn't look fake. And if I really wanted to, again, yeah, I can pull the opacity down a little bit. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We are going to take all of these and we are going to make our smart object. Grab a coffee. It's not like I got a low powered system either. 16 core. I went AMD. I was Intel for years. Forever. This is like my first AMD system. A 3950X. 64 gigs of RAM. On an X570 motherboard. So I get the PCIe 4. Unfortunately, my RTX 2080 isn't taking advantage of that yet, but maybe I'll win the lottery and then I can get a 3090. That'd be nice. Okay. First thing I'm going to do on this is, lo and behold, I am going to pull in portraiture on this just so it can maybe do a little bit more work on the facial hair. I am going to leave my settings as they are. Let's see, 12, 22, 32, blah, blah, blah. There. Okay. So, crazy. Let's turn the large down, the median down. We'll turn the fine up. Smoothing is at 100%. Holy cow. Let's take that down. That's a bit nudge. Okay, let's pull it back a bit. Let's turn our fine, crank that right up. Let's try each of these sliders separately and see what happens. Let's take large down. We'll do medium up. Threshold is currently at 20. This down to like 7. I see a whole bunch, did you? Ooh. Ouch. Crashola. Is it going to recover this for me? Because I did a whole ton of work. Adobe has found a solution or a workaround for the recent error in Photoshop. Please click below for more details. What's this? Yeah, okay, that's not really a workaround. Close, and it went kaboom. So let's open up Photoshop again, and let's see if it's actually got a recovery of that last project. There it is. Cool. Okay, so we'll try this again. And it dumped the Touch Magic Smile. It have to do those again. I am going to save this. That one. Turn off maximize compatibility. Yeah, it's good if you're going to be using this in, I don't know, like Illustrator or InDesign or something like that. But it massively inflates the file size. It makes it absolutely huge. So I don't plan on pulling these in there, and if I did, you know, maybe I just might pull up the JPEG to stick inside of a document. gotta put that shift button back on and define the default brush. Whoa. Do 10%. 50. This is 10%. Right, eyebrows. You know, I have a couple of plucked my stamp. I have some plucked eyebrows that are just growing back. Only doing them because I just noticed it. Those guys. Making that sound a lot lately. Talking about retouching, it's just like, and it's done. I can get rid of that. It's gone. I have no idea where that started to come from, but that layer don't need them. This layer and this layer don't need those. Let's get rid of them because they will just make the file bigger. There's my DMB. I'm dropping this down to around here. Dodge mic. No, we have to go down just. Better. Okay. Teeth whitening brush 100% low. That's the other thing that's interesting about this teeth whitening action that they have is you really don't have to be careful about what you're going over. Like they seem to have it targeted very, very well to just that like teeth area. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't that one. It is, what was it? Shift? No, that's that one. Alt. I can't remember that the key combination to show again. Oh man. If you remember in the comments, tell me know what it is again. I can't remember what the keyboard shortcut is. I used to use it all the time. But anyway, if you were to look at that mask, it's pretty crazy. Oh, no, that's selecting. Anyway, you can see, yeah, see how far over I've gone with that thing? And it doesn't really affect like the gum line. It doesn't affect lips or anything like that. It just does just teeth. Okay, let's try this again. Let's select all of these. Let us convert to smart object. And then after this conversion is done, I am going to save it again. Learn things the hard way. Should have got myself a tea before I started this. For times like this when I'm waiting for it to finish doing its thing. All right, it's done that. Now let's just hit Control S. So that is saved. We're good there. Let's try this again. Filter, portraiture 3. You know what I'm thinking? She doesn't need it. Does not need that. Well, I am going to throw my sharpen on. And it's going to do its own smart object thing. I just leave those settings default because I like how they turn out. Apply image, blah, 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 brings it back. Okay, brush, 50%, no smoothing, don't need it. And we're just gonna, those eyes, pardon me, give those eyes a little bit of a kick. Hair, a bit of a kiss. Alrighty, F8, there's my vignette. I'm gonna grab the center point of the vignette and just park it right behind the head. And turning it off and on just fixes that. And last but not least, okay, I didn't do this in the last one. So I don't know if you can notice that there is some banding going on. It is showing up on my monitor. It may or may not show up on YouTube. But one of the things that you can do to help combat this, especially when you export it as a JPEG, because it is going to get worse as a JPEG. Let's look at that, okay? Let's see. If I go to export this as a JPEG. Out a bit. Okay, so yeah, you can see there's banding going on here. Another hot pixel, damn it. Whoa, that went in all the way. Okay, I don't know if you can see that banding. I can't see it in the recording right there, and YouTube might make it even worse. But, okay, here's something you can do to help combat that and actually make it a little bit easier for the compression to work is another action that I have, and it's called raw grain. And what raw grain does, very simply put, is it makes a stamped copy of everything below it. No, sorry, it doesn't do that. It makes a new layer, fills it with gray, converts it to a smart object, and then runs the camera raw filter, which adds film grain. So if I zoom in here, turn this off, you can see, yes, it's adding some noise to it. But that noise is what basically is what dithering is. It's just kind of adding noise to dither the gradation. And it just adds another layer of interest. Shot. I mean, that's why we put film grain on anyway, right? Emulate the film grain. Okay, well, this one's done. We are all finished here. I've got a whole whack that I have to get done. So that's all for this one for now. I will JPEG this one out. Currently saving the file. Save it in that one. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys in the next one.